simple ways, three powerful ways to use one simple self-defense tool. This is called a pocket stick, also known as a Japanese or Okinawan yawara. A pocket stick is just exactly what it sounds like. A stick that goes in your pocket. You can hold it in your fist and use it simply for self-defense. So it's not complicated. It doesn't take a special license. You don't have to have specialized training to be able to use it. I'm going to show you three ways, three powerful ways that you can use this. And it is very powerful. And being simple means that anybody can use it. So as we look around us, we see the world kind of catching fire and going crazy, and people going nuts, and violent rhetoric exploding everywhere, and people talking about crazy stuff. Hopefully it never comes to us, right? But we keep saying that we want to pray for peace. We pray for healing, for common sense to come in and ease, some kind of salve or balm to come in and ease all of the civil strife and the civil unrest and the civil craziness. But at the same time, we want to pray for that peace, and we want to prepare for self-defense, prepare or perish, prepare or you have to panic when it comes at you, whether it comes directly to you, or you have to go to work, go to school, go to the grocery store, and you have to walk through some craziness, or something pops up and you find yourself in the middle of something. I want you to have some options. This is something that you can carry in a bag, in a purse, in your pocket stick. You simply squeeze it. I'm going to show you the very first way. It's very powerful and it's very simple, and it's squeezing it and holding it as you throw a punch. Now, when you throw a punch with an empty fist, you're going to hit with however much power you have naturally and however much you've trained. If you put a fist load in your hand, you load your fist with something like this that keeps the knuckles from compressing and has a little bit of weight, and you then hit somebody in the jaw, in the face, in the chest, to move them back in the side of the head. Maybe it's a hook punch or an uppercut or a straight punch. Then you're going to hit them so much harder because of the loaded fist. So the pocket stick, the first way that it becomes a very powerful, simple self-defense tool is as the fist load. And it's as simple as that. You can practice if you go to the gym and you have a heavy bag like I do at my gym. You just practice straight punches. If you want and you know how to throw a hook punch, you practice a hook punch. You can either do a hook punch this way, you can do a hook punch with your hand this way, and with a fist load, this kind of a hook punch, kind of a boxer's hook, that's going to hit with a lot of power too. You can also do one with your elbow up. So you can do one kind of your fist with your thumb facing the sky, a vertical hook punch, or a horizontal punch, or hitting with the palm side. You can do the straight punch, the hook punch, and then there's the uppercut. So you can practice that on a bag. You can practice it with a partner. You can practice just shadow fighting in the air. And by practicing that way on your own, you prepare yourself to defend yourself when you throw the fist load in your hand, using it the first way that's very powerful, using this simple self-defense tool. And this one's called a selfie stick. This company makes them in two lengths. I put a link in the description. This is their 8-inch length. You can see this one's 6. You can see the benefit of having the longer one. Gives you more coming out of the pinky side and thumb side, which we're going to talk about for the second one. Mr. Almighty Cornholios is here. It's good to see you. Thank you for being here. Thank you for watching my 3 powerful strikes, 3 powerful ways to use one simple self-defense tool, which is, there you go, it's called the selfie stick. This one's called a selfie stick, but we refer to these as a pocket stick. So the first way is as a fist load. You squeeze it, you hit him, you break his jaw, you move him out of your face. Maybe there's multiple attackers. You're like me, you're getting older and you're not as fast, you're not as strong, you're not as powerful as you used to be when you were younger. That's a reality. We all face that. No matter how many push-ups I do, no matter how many times I train or how I train, I still get a little bit weaker over time. So first way is to squeeze it. Second way is using the side that comes out of your thumb to push into the soft tissue of the body, hitting those pressure points. So using it as a pressure point striking tool. The third way, which is very powerful, very simple, is jabbing over from the backside. And that's with a back fist. Back fist, think about back fisting, think about a hammer fist, think about hitting the guy in the groin, hitting the guy over here. And you can use all 3 ways in one self-defense routine. If you wanted to practice it, you can practice your punching, you can practice your back fisting, your hammer fisting, coming over the top, and then you can practice swinging the arm this way, sticking it into his jaw, into his ear, into his neck, into the soft tissue there, into the nerves on the top of the chest, into the arm. The question you just asked was, are the ends sharp? And the ends are not sharp. You can see that they are rounded on both sides. So both sides are rounded. You also have this pattern here, which is kind of like a diamond pattern. It's cut into the selfie stick itself so that you can have better grip. This one also, same thing, rounded on the end, not sharp at all. Nice and smooth. And even though it's smooth, it's an extremely, extremely strong. No, this is not going to bend. It's not going to break. It is made out of aluminum. It's a solid piece. And so you have the heft in your hand, the weight. Of course, this one's going to weigh a little bit more than this one just because there's more material. It's longer. You have more reach advantage with this one. And you will, if you wanted a more substantial selfie stick, I carry this one on my gear. I'm still at work. I put this in it's in my medical kit, but I pop it out if I needed it, and I needed a different option. On this hip, I carry a very large gun. I don't know how to code word it. I carry a big gun on this side because that's my job, and I carry that. I also conceal carry. So for those of you who are going to say, well, I just carry a gun and shoot him, that's not always the right answer, right? For many, many reasons. And for many reasons you can't carry. They will sell this to almost everybody. Yeah, Mr. Almighty says the big iron. They'll sell these all over the world. So it doesn't matter where you live. You can live in Great Britain. You can live Europe. You can live in Asia. They'll mail this to you. You can live in Australia. I'm pretty sure they ship it to Australia. So wherever you are, you can go to the link in the description and they'll send you one of these. And they're not super expensive. They're not free, but what I say is it's a value thing, right? So for what you get, it's a very high, I think it's a really good price point for, and I'm not exactly sure what they cost. You'll have to go to the link to see what that is, but they're not that much. They're not that much. And for what you get, and it's going to last forever, and you can give them as a gift. I gave a bunch of these away as a gift over Christmas. One of the guys that works for me, he said, hey man, can you get me one of those palm sticks? And I said, it's pocket stick. You can call it palm stick, call it whatever you want. But I said, yes, I'll get that. So 3 ways, real quick. I want to finish up with the 3 powerful ways to use this simple self-defense tool, also known as a pocket stick, a Uwara, call it a palm stick, is squeezing it becomes a fist load. So you can break his jaw for self-defense. Yeah, Mark says stocking stuffers. This side, it's my birthday today. I just remember that. I was going to say it makes a great birthday gift. I was at the VA earlier. The girl was doing the x-ray on my knees because my knees hurt so much. And she said, because, they have to confirm it's you. They always, in the VA, they ask the last name. Hey, thank you for the happy birthday. What's your last name? What's your last 4 of your social? And then your birth date. And she said, it's your birthday. And I said, yeah, it's my birthday. Hey, thanks, Lyle. Lyle says happy birthday. But it's a great birthday gift, is what I was going to say. And you can get one, or you can get both. If you go to the website, they have packages. You can buy 2 long ones, 2 short ones, a long one and a short one, whatever you want. You can get in different colors. One Trigger says happy birthday. Thanks so much. Mark says happy birthday. Thank you, Mark. I really appreciate the birthday wishes. I didn't say that so I get the birthday wishes. I got them all day today. It was really nice. All the people who I am responsible for keeping safe are very grateful for me being here and the work that we do, me and my team does to keep these 3 campuses safe. So anyway, if it makes a great birthday gift or a great gift for yourself. Or if you're just serious about self-defense, you want some more options, you might conceal carry, and you say, I conceal carry. Thanks, Mark. I appreciate that. I conceal carry. I also carry pepper gel while I'm working, and I have pepper gel with me on my keys when I'm not working, when I'm concealed. Because again, this might not be the best option. You only pull a gun out when you're ready to kill something or somebody. And you're not going to hold something. That's all movie stuff. So you have to know how to use it. You have to be trained to use it. You have to be trained to keep them from taking it away from you. And it's not always the right answer. You have to understand all those rules that go along with it. And you should also train de-escalation. I don't often say this. I don't think maybe I've said it once or twice. maybe I'll say it more often since we're going into a time of craziness in the world. Maybe we'll start talking about de-escalation and what we call verbal judo, how to turn things around, how to catch somebody off guard, how to change. And there are a lot of physical things that you can do to interrupt the pattern instead of something amping up and getting worse and worse and worse like we see in the world right now. How do you deflect or change a position both physically and what you call literally and figuratively, change what's happening so that you can de-escalate and bring things down, so you don't have to break his jaw with your selfie stick. You can hold it in your hand, the other hand's up, and you're like, hey, maybe we're maybe I misunderstood you, maybe you misunderstood me, and then you ask him a question. Hey, are you mad at me? Or how can I help? And sometimes that works and sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes you have to defend yourself, and if you do, then 3 powerful ways: fist load, jabbing, using it as a pressure point tool, and using the back fist and striking with either side. So striking with either side, and that's also could be a pressure point tool. You can push down. Let's say someone's holding you from behind and you get on the top of their arm and you just dig that in there. And because of the way the selfie stick is made, you're going to be able to apply pressure with your hand and your arm, and that pain is going to go from your selfie stick into his nerves, and he's going to let you go. Or if he doesn't, then you can use one of the other techniques. So it's 3 powerful ways: fist load, pressure point tool, and then striking with all these. I think, the elbows are probably the most powerful self-defense tool that your body has. And then the second's going to be that hammer fist coming this way over the top. Third are, punches and palm strikes and things like that. Knife strikes, if you know how to do that. Pseudo hand, shudo, basically, which means knife hand. Using the inside, using the outside. Then you go into the, poking with your fingers and spear hands and all that. Kind of as a hierarchy, but I think, after elbows, back fists are probably, one to the guy behind you right on his jaw is enough to knock a lot of people out. You throw this in your hand, especially if it's multiple attackers, then you have even more striking power using something like this selfie stick. So if you need one, if you want one, you just want to see what they cost or how they're made, the website's really well done and has a lot of information on it. It is called Selfie Stick. Now, I have a relationship with the company, and they reached out to me and they said, hey, can we send you these and would you promote them? And I said, absolutely not. I ignored them for like 2 months. And then I finally thought, I started to look around, and I remember getting a text from this person or an email or something, and I thought, I'll just look at it. And I looked at it and I'm like, oh, I really like that. And so I said, yeah, send me one. And then I got it and I'm like, oh my God, these are amazing. I like them so much that I would promote them. And so I get a small commission. It's not a lot, but it is meaningful, and I appreciate it. And it's more about me wanting to provide to you an opportunity to be able to protect yourself. And right now, as we look around and we hear the stories, and I think that, 2 things are happening. Oh, cool. Mark says he got the 55-inch Texas Traveler Brazos walking stick. Brazos is another great company that I have no relationship with, but a great company that makes some great products. But the, Cold Steel, there's a lot of great self-defense tool companies out there. I think this is one of the new ones that I'm going to have to add to that list. Cane Masters is one of my favorites. As a lot of you know already, I work with Cane Masters too. And I get people reach out to me constantly and say, hey, we want to send you this thing for free, and then can you promote it? And I used to say yes, and then they'd send me some Temu or AliExpress garbage, Chinese crap. That was like, one of them was, remember there was like a period of time where those expandable sticks, they were basically like a magician's wand where you hit the button and they pop out, and they were being promoted as like a self-defense stick, and it was garbage. And not only was it garbage, when it was like an expandable bow, but it wasn't. It was just like really thin steel, maybe thin metal, and it was wrapped in a spring style, and then when you hit the little button, it popped out. Then you had to put it back together, you could put it in your pocket, and they were just, because they're unscrupulous. A lot of these companies, they'll find some crap from China, buy it in bulk, and then Almighty says those expandable bows are terrible. They're garbage. They're not expandable bows. They're a stupid little party favor or party trick that, you know, came from a like when a magician hit, you know, his wand would pop out or whatever, he'd have nothing, and then all of a sudden a big thing pops out. And that's what it was based on. And it was just, and they're still out there. I still see them every once in a while. Anyway, someone sent one of those to me, and they said, "Will you promote it?" I said, "Send it to me. I don't know. Let me see it first." And they sent it to me, and I just moved it around a little bit, and the stupid thing broke because of the pressure of me moving it, and sliced my hand up. And I thought, there's no way I would promote this piece of garbage, you unscrupulous person. I don't know who sent it to me. I forget. Somebody from China sent me this garbage and asked me to promote it, and then he would give me a kickback or whatever. I'm like, no, I'm not doing that. I'm not doing a commission for garbage that I don't believe in. And people do that. I get offers all the time. And I'm going to keep it to Cane Masters, Selfie Stick. And one time Bob and Brad sent me, rest in peace, a thumper that was great. And I did one video for those guys because, again, I love what they do and I love that brand. You didn't need to hear all that, but I appreciate you listening. If you want a selfie stick, please look in the description. Yes, I do have a relationship where they will give me a small commission, and so I have an incentive to promote it, but I also have a bigger incentive because I believe in your right, your God-given right to protect yourself and your family, and I want you to have all the tools to do that. And as I get older, I am now fully recognizing that my body aches. I can't move as no, it wasn't a tire thumper mark. It was like a Theragun. It was their own brand of like a massage gun. Yeah, those things were garbage. The expendable batons. But so for me, as I age and I recognize my infirmity and my decline, and I'm doing everything I can to slow it down and to keep myself fit. And, you know, I do step ups in the kitchen while I'm making breakfast in the morning. You know, I have a little step now. I practice getting up and down because my legs are the ones that, you know, with the knees, I got a hip replacement coming up for the right hip. I already did the left hip a couple years ago. And so I'm taking some action. I'm going to do something about it, and you can too. We can all do, you know, I'm eating healthier. I drink less. I'm still drinking too much caffeine. I'm working on that. But I'm trying to do all the things to keep myself healthy so that I can physically defend myself and my family. That's all I care about. That's the only reason I work out. I want to be able to defend myself. If someone threatens my family, I want to threaten them back. I want to be a menace to a danger to the threat. I want to be able to scare the threat away, and if not, I want to crush, and I want to close with and destroy, violence of action. All the words, all the things that I speak about, I truly train for and believe to the core of my being. I want to be able to do that for my family. I want to be able to offer that protection, real physical protection. And so the point is, as I get slower, as I hit less hard, because when I was younger, man, I could really hit hard in many different ways and knock people out and do all the things. And I could still probably do, you know, muster a lot of it because I have good technique and practiced a lot. But I've fallen in love with tools, with simple tools. This is as simple as it gets. If I grab a pair of brass knuckles, that shows a different kind of intent, right? And the courts will see that differently. If I carry one of these, which also doubles as a massage stick, because I can hit those pressure points, trigger points, and relieve the pain in my glutes. I get the piriformis lock up on me now because my hip's so bad. And I'll take this out. This is the other reason I carry it with me all the time. And I'll press that into that piriformis for about 13 seconds, take it off, and then the muscle just releases. That's a real thing. That's a massage, you know, trigger point massage technique. So I use it for that. And so you can have a reason to carry it. Super simple, super powerful. And so I like to show you things like this that you can also use as you get older, or as you don't have as much strength, or if you might be younger, but you need more power, you need more options to be able to defend yourself. And again, you know, there's the Second Amendment in the United States. Remember that, guys. When you start putting in the comments, why don't you just shoot him? That's stupid. Bring a selfie stick to a gunfight. That's not what I said. I'm not bringing a selfie stick to a gunfight. I've got a gun on me all the time. I'm not going to pull out my selfie stick if the guy's shooting at me. Hey, thanks for the happy birthday. I appreciate that. So I mean, you can put it in the comment section if you want. I take any and all comments. I love to read them. But as you do that, remember, this is not what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about taking a selfie stick, a palm stick, a Kubotan, a Yawara to a gunfight. I'm saying that Not, in the United States, people can carry guns in some places, not everywhere either. Yeah, give them this photo shoot. That's the funny thing about this. The name selfie stick sounds like, you're going to take a picture, right? But that's the great thing about it, because it doesn't say smash his teeth down his throat stick, right? So when someone says, what is that? And you want to be discreet and you say, it's my massage tool. And they say it says selfie stick on it. What does that mean? Well, it's for self-care. I'm doing some self-care here. The ladies love talking about the self-care. So I'm doing the self-care. It's my selfie stick for self-care. But you and I also know you can also squeeze it really hard, and it is the punch his teeth down his throat because he won't get out of your face and he won't stop touching you, and he's spitting your wife's face and he's touching your granddaughter, and you told him to get away from my kid, and you have to take some action for self-defense. So, is it upside down again? Yeah. There we go. Selfie stick. So if you need a selfie stick, you want a selfie stick, the link's in the description. We went through all that. Appreciate you guys being here tonight. I got to go back to work. I'll see you on the next one. Hey, thanks for the birthday.